Hi and welcome to our yoga class today. My name is Trudi. I'm a volunteer with the county and I'm going to be leading you through a 30-minute yoga class. So we're just going to come into a comfortable standing pose. So you can have your feet about hip width apart. You can close your eyes. Let's bring our arms to our sides, palms facing forward. And first let's just roll our shoulders up by our ears and just squeeze them back down and just notice how your shoulders are feeling. We hold a lot of tension there, so let's see if we can let it go. So we're closing the eyes, we're reaching the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Let's engage the legs as though we were drawing the feet apart on the mat. So tightening up the thighs, maybe tucking the pelvis a little bit, releasing the arms. So feeling really solid from the waist down, and from the waist up, it's like the spine is reaching up to the ceiling, the crown of the head's reaching up. And then opening your eyes, let's bring our mind to our breath. We're going to inhale the arms overhead, and then exhaling them down. So we're linking the movement to the breath. As we inhale, we're reaching the fingers apart as though we would touch the sides of the room. Inhaling all the way up overhead, exhaling down. We're going to do one more throughout the class. You can think about linking the movement to your breath. And you can use this time just to set an intention for the class, something you'd like to focus on, or you can just focus on the movements and the breath. So releasing those arms back down. We're going to let that one go. Let's just drop the chin to the chest. So we're stretching out the back of the neck. And then just circle your head around to one side, stopping when your ears over your shoulder, and just stretching the opposite arm away. So just stretching out this muscle down the side of the neck and the top of the shoulders. So throughout the class, please just take it at your own pace. If you need to modify, please do that. I'm going to give some alternatives, but make sure that you're not experiencing any pain in your joints and that the pose isn't giving you, any pain in your lower back or anything. So just respect any injuries you have or where your body's at. From there, we're going to point our nose down towards the mat and then just circle the chin around the front of the chest. Coming all the way up on the other side, stopping when your ear's over that opposite shoulder, and maybe just stretching that other arm out. So just taking a couple of breaths here, releasing any tension in the neck or the shoulders. And again, just pointing the nose down to the mat, circling the chin around the front of the chest, and then raising the head up. We're going to start with some sun salutations today. So coming to sort of the top of your mat or whatever you're standing on, we're going to inhale our arms wide. As we exhale, we're going to fall forward with a flat back with our arms sort of out to our sides. Then we're going to exhale and release down, tucking your nose into your knees. And then we're going to inhale up halfway, reaching the crown of the head forward so the back's flat. Exhaling, releasing back to your forward fold, and then bend your knees a lot, and we're going to inhale all the way up. Exhaling, releasing those arms. So let's do one more. We're inhaling up overhead. As we exhale, we're falling forward with a flat back like a swan dive, tucking your nose into your knees, and then inhaling up halfway, reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhaling, releasing, bending those knees, inhaling all the way up. Maybe this time adding a little back bend if that's okay for your lower back. And then exhaling, releasing the arms down. So let's do one more and then we're going to add on. So inhaling up halfway, or inhaling up overhead, maybe a little back bend, exhaling, falling forward with that flat back. If you've experienced any dizziness with your head down, you can stop right here. Brace your hands against your thighs. Just keep your back parallel to the floor. If you don't experience any dizzying or don't have blood pressure issues, exhaling, releasing, tucking the nose into the knees. Inhaling up halfway. Releasing back to forward fold. Bending the knees a lot. We're going to inhale all the way up overhead. Little back bend, hands to heart center. Very nice. So we're going to do one more here and then we're going to transition into our chair pose. So starting back in your mountain, inhaling your arms up overhead, little back bend, exhaling, falling forward, all the way down if you're comfortable with that, tucking your nose into your knees, inhaling up halfway, reaching the crown of the head forward, exhaling, releasing, back to our forward fold. And this time, let's just grasp our opposite elbow, and we're just going to hang in forward fold here. So a couple of options. You can grab your opposite elbows, you can have your hands on the small of your back, or you can clasp your fingers together in temple pose and just let the arms hang forward. So we can bend our knees quite a lot. We're getting a nice stretch down the back of the legs, crown of the head's hanging down towards the floor. Let's take another breath here. And then releasing your hands down to the floor. We're going to bend the knees a lot. And this time when we inhale up, we're inhaling up, coming into our chair pose. So we're sitting back in our pretend chair. Our arms are either reaching forward, or you can have your forearms up by your ears, whatever's comfortable for you. So you're gazing between where your thumbs are here. And let's see if we can sit a little lower in our chair. So let's try to keep the spine long as though we're reaching from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. Maybe tucking that pelvis a little bit, engaging those legs, drawing them apart on the mat. Let's try for one more breath, sinking a little deeper. And then we're going to inhale all the way up. And let's come right up onto the balls of the feet. So like you're on your tippy toes, reaching those fingers up to the ceiling. Really stretching up. And it's okay if you wobble out. You can just let that happen and then come back into that position where you're up on the balls of your feet. And then releasing the heels to the mat. We're going to exhale and fall forward into our forward fold again. Coming all the way down. Tucking your nose into your knees. And then let's bend those knees again, coming back up into our chair pose. So we're generating a little warmth in our body. We're sitting back in those heels, reaching the arms out in front, maybe releasing the shoulder blades down the back. Seeing if we can just sit a little deeper, maybe drawing the feet apart on the mat. And then we're going to inhale all the way up, coming back into our palm tree, reaching up to the ceiling, coming up onto the balls of the feet. And then exhaling, releasing the heels down, dropping the arms down. And let's just roll the shoulders out again. Squeezing them up by the ears, sliding them down the back. Let's do two more there. Maybe reversing the direction this time. Squeezing them up, rolling them forward. Just kind of noticing what tension we have in the shoulders. So from there, let's come into a little bit of a flow. So we're going to start up at the front of our mat. We're going to inhale up overhead. Little back bend. As we exhale, we're falling forward with our flat back. Tucking the nose into the knees again. Inhaling up halfway, the crown of the head's reaching forward. As we exhale, we're releasing back to forward fold. We're going to place our hands on the mat. And we're going to step the right leg back. And from there, we're just going to peel our torso off that left thigh. And we're reaching our fingers back to the right heel. Front knees bent. So we're like in a runner's lunge here. So the idea is that from the crown of the head right back down to that right heel, it's all one straight line, and we're about to burst out of our runner's blocks. At the same time, you can start to tuck your right hip back a little bit. So we're trying to keep the hips level. So we're tucking the left hip forward, the right hip back, reaching those fingers down towards the right ankle, crown of the head's reaching forward, sinking a little deeper into our lunge, coming out of this whenever you need to. And then inhaling up, come to raised lunge. So that front knee stays bent. The right leg is back as straight as we can. We're tucking that right hip forward a little bit, left hip back. Arms are up by our ears here, our forearms up by our ears. And then see if you can sink a little deeper into your lunge. Holding is a little bit of balance here. And an option to place your hands at heart center, pushing the palms together. You can either just stay right there, or if you'd like, you can twist towards your bent knee and open your left arm back. So adding a little bit of a twist here. And then releasing that, coming back to center. Let's place our hands on either side of that left foot. And we're just going to tip our weight back a little bit, step the right leg up. And again, let's bend the knees a lot. Inhale those arms up overhead, little back bend, hands to heart center. So let's do that once more. Then we're only on the other side. So we're going to inhale back up overhead, little back bend. As we exhale, we're going to swan dive forward. Inhaling up halfway, reaching the crown of the head forward. We exhale back to our forward fold. This time we're going to place the hands on the mat and step the left leg back. So get yourself set up. You're going to peel the torso off that right thigh, reaching the fingers back towards the left ankle this time. Again, trying to keep everything in line with your crown of your head all the way down your spine, right down to that left ankle. We're tucking the right hip back, left hip forward a little bit. And we're going to see if we can sink into our runner's lunge. Just holding the pose, but not holding our breath. We're still breathing here. See if we can sink a little deeper. And then as we inhale, we're going to inhale up to our raised lunge, tucking that right hip back, left hip forward. Maybe even adding a little back bend here. Remembering to do the yoga that's right for you. Trying to release anything in the shoulders there. And an option to release the arms, bring the hands to heart center, pushing the palms together. And either just staying there or starting to twist towards the bent knee, opening out to the side. So a nice twist here. And then exhaling, releasing back to center. We're going to place our hands on either side of that right foot. Take the weight back. Step the left foot forward. And this time let's just hang here in our forward fold again. So we're clasping our opposite elbow. I'm just going to shift so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So clasping your opposite elbow. Let's just start to sway those elbows from side to side, as though we're kind of just doing a little twist, swaying in the breeze. And then as we inhale, let's sway the arms all the way up on the one side, and then exhaling, releasing down. So this pose is called sunflower. It's like we're opening to the sun. This time we're going to sway to the left, inhaling up. Exhaling, releasing down on the right. Let's do one more, swaying over to the right, inhaling, coming all the way up as though we're a sunflower, exhaling down to the left, and then going the other direction, inhaling up to the left, and exhaling, releasing down to the right. And then letting those arms go, we're going to bend the knees a lot. Inhale all the way overhead. Little back bend, hands to heart center. Very lovely form, everybody. Let's come into our warrior pose. So we're going to take the left foot and step it forward on your mat. Taking a big step back with the right leg. So you can't see my feet, but my left heel is lined up with the instep of my right foot. My right foot's sort of a little bit of an angle coming forward. We're going to inhale our arms up to shoulder height. Release those shoulders down. And then let's just bend that front knee. So we're keeping the shoulders over the hips. So we're not reaching forward, we're going straight down, bending that knee. Arms are reaching in the opposite directions as though they could touch the walls on either side. And we're looking over our left hand. So let's just hold that, sinking a little deeper, reaching in opposite directions. So we're in Warrior Two. So you can either stay there or you can add a flow. As we inhale, let's bring the arms overhead, straighten that left knee. As we exhale, we're going to sink back down. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling overhead, exhaling down. Coming back into that bent knee. Inhaling overhead, almost like we're underwater, so there's a little bit of resistance in the air. Now let's hold there in our Warrior Two. We're going to flip that front hand as though we're holding maybe a crystal ball. And as we inhale, we're going to reach that wall up to the ceiling as though we're reaching it to give it to someone above us. The front leg is, the left leg's still bent there. We're getting this nice stretch all the way down the left side of the body. You're either reaching up or even a little bit of a back bend, just whatever's feeling good for your lower back. And then exhaling, releasing that. Let's bring the left forearm, just gently place it on that left bent knee. So the right leg stays straight. Then we're going to inhale the right arm, reaching it overhead. So it's like we're stretching from the tip of the right fingers right down to the right ankle. And the left knee is bent. And we're opening our chest to the side. So we're looking off to the side, to the front here. So we're not sort of looking down at the floor, but off to the side wall. Holding that, let's reach. And then your next inhale, we're going to pull ourselves up to straight. And we're just going to do that Warrior Two on the other side. So this time your right knee is going to bend. Arms are up at shoulder height again. Left leg straight here. And again, our shoulders are over our hips and we're sinking down towards the ground. So you can adjust the width of your stance so you can get that comfortable. And we're looking over the right hand this time. Just sinking into the pose. Holding that, reaching those fingers in opposite directions, maybe engaging the legs on the mat, sort of drawing the feet together. Reaching, stretching, crown of the head's up to the ceiling. If your back arm's a bit low, you can pull it up so it's level. And then adding the flow as we inhale. Going to reach the arms overhead, straightening that right knee. As we exhale, we're sinking back into the pose. So just following with your breath, inhaling overhead, exhaling, releasing. Let's do 2 more. Remembering it's like we're underwater, nice and slow with the breath and the movement. And then holding the pose. Again, we're going to flip that front hand, the right hand, inhaling up to the ceiling, reaching that up, sliding the left hand down the left leg, right knee stays bent. We're either looking up at the ceiling or adding a little back bend, getting that nice stretch down the right side. Holding that for 1 more breath. And then as we exhale, we're bringing that bent right forearm and just placing it gently on the right bent knee. Back leg is straight, left leg is straight. Inhaling the left arm up and reaching it down in one long line from the left fingers right down to the left foot. And we're looking off to the side here. And trying not to put too much weight in that right arm, just letting it gently rest there. Reaching, stretching all the way down that side. And then inhaling back to center. So let's keep the legs wide. Toes are pointing towards the side of the long end of the mat in the direction you're looking. And as we exhale, let's just fall forward with a flat back, stopping when you're parallel to the floor, letting the crown of your head reach forward. So maybe you want to stay there, or if you'd like, you can release your hands down to the mat, maybe stepping your legs a little bit wider, and just letting the head Crown of the head, reach down to the floor. Remembering if you've got blood pressure issues, just stay braced against your thighs. But if you'd like, you can let your head hang down to the floor. Bring your weight into the balls of your feet. And just releasing your neck and head, just letting them hang. Just bringing your mind back to your breath there. And then bending your knees quite a lot. We're just going to roll the body up. So we're going to stay with the knees bent. So your toes are pointing off to the corners of your mat. You're sitting down, tucking the pelvis. Let's bring the arms up to shoulder height, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Palms are facing forward, releasing any tension in your shoulders, seeing if you can sink a little deeper. We're in goddess pose. Sinking down, squeezing those shoulder blades together, opening through the chest. And let's add a little bit of a flow here. As we inhale, we're going to reach down to the floor as though we're scooping up some energy there. As we exhale, we're straightening the legs and reaching to the ceiling. And let's just do that a couple more times. Reaching down towards the floor, bending the knees. Inhaling, reaching up. Do maybe one more. Nice stretch through the inner thighs. And then as we exhale, we're coming into five-pointed star, reaching the fingers in opposite directions. Let's try to draw the feet together on the mat. I'm not going to move, but it's going to engage our thighs. Crown of the head's reaching up to the ceiling. And we're in five-pointed star. So we're just standing here, but it's a really active pose. Our legs are engaged, our fingers are reaching out to the opposite walls. Crown of the head's reaching up to the ceiling. And then exhaling, let's step the legs together, bring the arms overhead. So we've got our fingers together in temple pose. We're reaching overhead. And as we exhale, let's do a side bend to one side, tucking that pelvis a little bit. Inhaling back to center. And we're going to exhale over to the other side. Nice side bend. Keeping our torso off to the sides. We're not looking down at the floor. We're opening to the side. Inhaling back to center and releasing those hands. Lovely practice, everybody. Let's come into our balance pose just before we wrap the class up. So in our balance pose, feel free to hang onto a wall or if you've got a chair. So whatever's working for you. We're going to start in mountain. So our feet are hip width apart. We're drawing them apart on the mat as though we want to rip the mat in two. So our legs are engaged. Pelvis is tucked a little bit. Arms are at our sides. And then bringing our weight into our one leg, we're going to take the opposite knee and point it out to the side. So you can keep your toe on the mat, or you can place your foot against your calf, the opposite calf, or if you're comfortable, you can raise it up to the inner thigh. What you don't want to have is that foot pushing against your knee. So make sure it's above or below the knee. Bring our hands to heart center. So we're trying to keep the hips forward. And we can push the palms together. And just notice your breath as you inhale. Just feel steady. As you exhale, just releasing any tension. Let's take one more breath here. If you wobble out of the pose, no worries. Just begin again. That's what yoga is all about. And then exhaling, releasing your arms, just letting that leg go. We're going to shake that out a little bit. And then come back into our mountain pose. And then this time we're going to bring the weight into the opposite leg, pointing that other knee out to the side, trying to keep our hips straight, finding a place on your foot, on your opposite leg to place that foot, either above the knee or below. I'll show below on this one. And you can either keep the same arm position, or you can try a different one, maybe bringing your hands out to the side, flexing those wrists, which is a nice break if you're on the computer a lot. Maybe flexing them the other way. Again, if you wobble out, just coming back into the pose when you're ready. And roll those wrists out. Maybe the opposite direction. And then releasing the arms, letting the legs go. We're just going to shake that out a little bit. We're going to come into our end relaxation. So you can do that standing like I'm going to, or you can sit in a comfortable pose on the floor, or you can lie out reclined. Whatever you're doing, just start to bring your mind to your breath. You can close your eyes. Think about releasing any tension in the shoulders. Just noticing those in-breaths and out-breaths. So as you inhale, maybe you can count the beats of your inhale. Maybe it's a count of 4. And as you exhale, see if you can release for a little bit longer, perhaps a count of 5. So we're inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. As we exhale, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if the counting helps, you can continue with that. Otherwise, just notice your inhales, notice your exhales. As you exhale, think about releasing any stress or tension in the body, just letting it go with the breath. If you're seated or lying, you can notice the feel of the floor beneath you. Standing, you can feel the mat underneath your feet. Really think of that exhale, noticing all the tension flowing out of your body. Starting with the crown of your head, your forehead, your face, your shoulders, and your arms. Just letting them relax. Then bringing your breath to your chest, your back, your belly, and your hips. Let your torso relax. Just feeling it, any stress or tension leaving the body, just letting it go. And then bringing your attention to your breath to your thighs, your calves, your ankles, and the soles of your feet. Just feeling the whole body relax, letting the arms and legs grow heavy, releasing any tension in your jaw or shoulders. And just taking 2 more long, deep breaths here, just letting go of any last bits of tension. Just taking a moment to let the body rest, knowing that just for this moment, all is well. And then on your next in-breath, you can start to bring some gentle movement to the body. You might be rolling out the wrists, maybe letting your neck go from side to side. And if you are in a reclined pose on the floor, you can roll over onto your right side and then sit up into a seated pose. And then we're going to take a sun breath to finish the class together. We're going to inhale our arms, reaching the fingers away, inhaling all the way overhead. Exhaling to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining us today for yoga class. Many thanks to the County of Brant for providing these classes, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks again.